I started golfing when I was 8 years old. Absolutely hated it. If you weren't pursuing golf, what would you be doing? I would be a pilot. You don't have to be insanely good at a young age. I really do struggle with a lot of anxiety on the golf course. So this is a great question. Welcome back to the channel. This is my Q&A. I have been wanting to do this for a while now because I feel like a lot of you guys started with me on my journey right when I turned pro. So I'm excited to answer some questions that you guys might have had from before I turned pro, my college, my high school. A few things I have to preface. I really was trying to do this on a day where the weather was really nice and I could sit outside on my porch with like a blanket and be all fun and cozy, but that's not happening. I'm in Dayton, Ohio right now. It's like 30 degrees. So I am in my bed in the comfort of my home. And I know you can already see him. Tito's here. I know anybody that's watched my other vlogs knows Tito. And I think I named him Corny finally. He's also here. I can't put him away. I just can't. I know it's not Halloween anymore. It's not October, but I just can't get myself to do it. So he might just be here for the long haul. I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't. But anyways, Tito's gonna be hanging out with me real quick, wearing the GGG hoodie pullover. You guys should definitely check it out, the website, golfgirlgames.com. I'm gonna get into it. What's the most important thing that the game of golf has taught you? I feel like this is such an easy question for me solely because it has taught me everything in my life. I feel like sports in general has taught me everything in my life. Teaches you not to quit, teaches you to persevere, go through adversity, teaches you how to work hard. So golf for me, I've always explained it, and I think a lot of people usually explain it, that golf is so much like life. So obviously in life we go through all of these ups and downs. We have to learn to persevere through them. It's the same with golf. You have 18 holes. You're going to go through ups and downs. You're going to make bogeys and doubles and birdies and eagles and hole-in-ones and whatever. It's just a crazy game. That's just the best way I can put it. And you can't get subbed in. It's not like other sports where, you know, if you're not playing well, you can get subbed out, take a breather, get yourself together, and then go back into the game. Like, you can't do that in golf. And so I just feel like it teaches you so much about how to persevere when you're in it. Like, when you're in the fire of life, you can't just stop. You can't just quit. And it's the same with golf. I think that's the number one thing that it's taught me, was just to how to handle adversity better in my own life. I just feel like it's made me become such a hard worker and really able to just get through anything. And I've met probably all of my people through golf. That was kind of a long-winded question, but I feel like that was a good one. Do you like golf? Yes, I do. Favorite hole on the South. This is coming from my old high school teammate, Mayha. Shout out Mayha. So the South course is my home golf course in Dayton, Ohio. Favorite hole on the South? Ooh. That's a hard question. This has honestly changed throughout the years, and I know that's kind of contradictory. I can't say that word. Contradictory of a favorite because it's not supposed to change. But I'm gonna say hole 6 on the South. I posted a video on my Instagram of me hitting it over the tree because that's the line you have to take. And just throughout the years, that's kind of become my favorite hole. It's a par 5, 1 of 3 on the South, and it's the most gettable par 5 in my opinion. I tend to have a lot of eagle opportunities, the most on that hole than any of the other par 5s or any other hole for that matter. Okay, I'm back like hours later. We had our Thanksgiving dinner. My Thanksgiving this year is very different than years past. My siblings are both married, so they had to go to in-laws celebrations. Our Thanksgiving is very chill this year, but my sister did come over with Grayson, so I was able to see them. Okay, let's see. How did Ryan beat you at golf? Wow, this was literally my brother, and I didn't even realize it until I read it. Yes, my brother beat me. Okay, he was a professional golfer prior. I guess this could be another thing about me, but my brother has always been my role model in golf. He played golf at a small D1 school in Dayton called Wright State, and then he actually moved down to Florida for like 6 years. Played professionally. He played on the Latin Tour, McKenzie Tour, which is the Canadian Tour. Ultimately had kind of an injury, COVID. He's now back home in Dayton. He's got his job, he does his thing, but he also teaches people online golf consulting. So if you guys want to check out his Instagram, I can't believe I'm promoting him right now when he completely dissed me, but that's just like sibling love, you know what I mean? So his Instagram is Ryan Winsler Golf. Check him out if you guys need some serious tips. He's really good. He kind of doubles as my swing coach as well as Kevin Jones, my swing coach since I was 8 years old. So I bounce a lot of ideas off of the both of them. Did you play any other sports growing up? I did. I played soccer and then golf. I danced for actually a really long time. I did like hip hop, jazz, contemporary. Hip hop was my favorite. Yeah, my main sport outside of golf was soccer. Played that for a while up until like middle school, and the typical story, I had a coach ruin the sport for me, so I decided to play golf because I wanted to hang out with my brother. So that's how I got into golf. What clubs do you use? And what's your favorite hole-in-one? Well, I only have one hole-in-one, so I guess that's my favorite hole-in-one. It was, I think, last September, hole 13 at NCR South, 175 yards, hit a 5-iron, and I was literally by myself. But before people come at me in the comments, the maintenance guy saw it, and I know it for a fact because when the ball went in, he threw his hands up and he told me it went in. So I was not by myself. I had eyewitness. I get a lot of crap for that for some reason. People think I'm like lying about it. Oh, the first question, I use Callaway clubs. I use them now. I actually just recently switched to like completely Callaway clubs, ball, everything. Longest drive, I don't know, probably 300 and something out in like the mountains somewhere. I feel like that's a hard question because it kind of just depends. Worst golf memories, GGG rules. Oh, shout out GGG. Love you guys. Worst golf memories would probably be, I feel like when I was in junior golf, and obviously being from Ohio, we started playing tournaments again in like March, and it would be freezing and raining. And this is when I like genuinely really did not like golf that much. Like, I'm telling you all, I started golfing when I was 8 years old. Absolutely hated it. I did not like golf. So if there are any parents watching this that feel like they're freaking out because their kids aren't into golf yet, it's okay. I promise. You just have to make it fun. That's the number one thing. And my parents never really pushed me at all. I just did it. I don't know. I always felt like I had to do something. So I did it from like 8, and then till probably, I would say 2 years later is when I actually really started to get into it. And then I played in like my first legit tournament when I was maybe 11. I do remember my first time ever playing 18 holes. I shot 119. I get so sidetracked. I don't even remember what the question was. Worst golf memory is literally just being in junior golf. I had to play in freezing weather and it was pouring down rain and windy. I actually really did not enjoy those moments because all I wanted to do was go on like hang out with my friends. What keeps you motivated? I just love what I do. Genuinely, I think that I am so blessed, and as mentally hard as being a professional golfer is, I would not trade it for the world. I love what I get to do and I want to be able to do it for the rest of my life. So I would say my motivation is just honestly wanting to get better every single day. That's the one thing about golf is there's always going to be something that you can improve on, and you're never going to be perfect. You can strive for better golf all the time, whether that's mentally or physically. What's my favorite thing about golf? The people that I've met. I think I said that earlier. My like all-time dogs from golf. Like I that's the one thing, like the one thing that I always have been able to keep friends for so long periods of time is literally through golf. How is managing time on the Epson Tour as a rookie while still being consistent with YouTube? Okay, so as you can see, I haven't posted in over 2 weeks on YouTube, so it's really hard. This is my off season right now for Epson. Although it's my off season, I'm still like practicing and and taking time for other things. And so it can be tough sometimes, because obviously, like, when I come home at the end of a long day, I just kind of want to relax and decompress. However, a lot of that time where you do come home, you feel like you have to like edit and think of new ideas in videos and everything. And so it's really hard. But I honestly just make a schedule every single day and really like put, okay, what do I want to focus on today and what do I need to get done? I'm trying my best. Again, guys, like, I do this YouTube stuff because I want to help people understand kind of the life that I live, and I really enjoy doing it, but it is not my first job. So I apologize for inconsistency or anything, but I genuinely just like appreciate you guys being here. So shout out to the OGs. Love you guys. My favorite club, I don't know, my putter. I love putting. It definitely annoys me when I don't make putts, but I really do like putting a lot. I love practicing putting. I know that's probably like a weird thing because I feel like a lot of people don't like practicing putting, but I do like my putter. Besides the US, where else do you wish you could play? What other country? I want to play golf in Banff, Canada. Really, really bad. Oh, this is a great question. I get this a lot, and I need to fill you guys in on this. I noticed you push/lean your hands and wrists a bit forward before your backswing. Why? Guys, I don't know. It's just a trigger. I've always done it my whole life. I have to watch it actually because it can cause issues. Everyone has kind of a trigger that they do. I'm high key about to drag Sabrina right now. Shout out Sabrina Andolfo. Sorry, but I'm gonna use you as an example. But if you guys ever watch Sabrina hit a shot, she like sets up and then she like bends her knees right before she hits and then she swings. That's her trigger. My trigger is just, for some reason, I just push the hands forward and I go. There's no, mechanical or technical reason why I do it. I just do. Don't start doing it just because I'm doing it. Please. I don't even know if it's a good thing or not. How do you stay calm and focused in golf? Okay, this is, if you watched my stage 2 video, my big thing that I'm working on right now is the mental game. I am not a very calm person in golf. I know that sometimes in like the GGG videos, I look really calm, cool, and collective. I'm kind of like the chill girl of the group, but like internally, I'm freaking out all the time. I definitely internalize a lot of my feelings and emotions in golf, and I don't know why. I think I've honestly done it my whole life, and it's actually just been recently where I've started to realize like, okay, like I need to seriously start journaling golf, non-golf stuff, just to start to figure out my feelings a little bit more, because I really do struggle with a lot of anxiety on the golf course. Like I always have. And honestly, I think I always will, but it's kind of all about how you manage it. I work with a great sports psych, Billy Ryan, and we've honestly worked on that a lot. I've had a lot of great conversations with my brother, my swing coach, Kevin. I guess advice I would give to keep calm is to remember that it's just golf, and at the end of the day, you get to play an incredible sport that you're trying to master. And not a lot of people can do it. And so I do remind myself of that a lot. This is how I think of it. If I mess up, hit a bad shot, I make a bogey, I make a double, you move on and you go to the next. I think about other sports, like I think about gymnastics. If they mess up, they hurt themselves. So I know that's like a weird thing and it has nothing to do with the question of how you stay calm and focused, but I always remind myself of that. If I start to play very fearfully, I'm like, no, why are you playing with so much fear? If you mess up, you mess up. It's not like you're gonna hurt yourself, or, at least you hope. I'm trying to get my daughter to take golf more serious, but don't want to encourage her from playing. Shoot, I don't know what the end of that. I'm sorry, I took a screen recording of the question, so I don't know what the end of it is, but I'm guessing you're asking about how you get your daughter into golf more seriously, but don't want to discourage her. Like I said earlier, make it fun. I'm telling you, if I would have had something like golf girl games, or if I would have seen girls in high school, college playing golf and looking up to them, I would have loved it. I didn't have that, honestly. I would just try to encourage, her as much as possible outside of the golf course. Get her to see that there are female golfers that really enjoy the game. Throw on GGG. I do vlogs. I can always put my stuff up. I think my story is honestly really interesting because I didn't really grow up some insane golfer. In high school, I was good locally. I won state my senior year, but I didn't even expect to play my freshman year at Kentucky, and I ended up playing. So as long as she has confidence in herself and the want to do it, she will ingrain that hard work and attitude of like, okay, I want to take this to the next level. My parents never pushed me. They've never pushed any of us kids, and we've kind of just had ingrained in us that we wanted to do something. It just kind of became, I guess, second nature to work for something. So, fave GGG episodes so far. I want to say my elimination challenge in Georgia because I won it, but that was not my favorite because that was my first trip ever and I was still really nervous with all the girls. I actually loved the video that I lost. You guys should go check it out, the one where I had to sing A Christmas Carol to a stranger's door. Oh my gosh, it was so embarrassing. But that video was so funny because it was the left-right challenge and Sabrina was playing not great. She was just hopping on everyone's backs and then I ended up losing, and then it was just a really funny plot twist. Honestly, I loved that video. Other than golf, what is your next favorite sport? Keep up the good work. Thank you. I like pickleball. Typical ball flight, you know what? I'm trying to figure it out too. So I have always been kind of a drawer of the ball. From, I would say, 7-iron, 8-iron down, I do like to draw the ball. Wedges, I like to draw. Anything above that, I honestly would prefer a fade. Weakest part of my game, I hate to admit, but it's definitely chipping. It's just not my strong suit, and it's my work in progress every single year. And I'm really excited because this year I'm going to be in Florida for 4 months starting in January. So I'm hoping that I'm going to get the chipping dialed down in that Bermuda grass. I know my followers know how much I love Bermuda. So we're going to get that situated. Are you a sweet or salty person? You're going to hate this answer, but both. My favorite thing is a bowl of popcorn and then put M&Ms in it. So good. Best advice for a high school golfer? Enjoy it. Oh my gosh. I wish I could go back, relive some of my high school memories in golf and everything. Just enjoy it. Honestly, I would learn how to go low. I know high school yardages are a lot shorter than college yardages. Get really good at your wedges. Get really good at going low because that's going to make you feel a lot more comfortable when you start to get pushed back a few tees. How often do you get hit on by golf pros in golfing? I would say any female golfer would say more than average. Do you need a caddy? Dude, I don't know. I have myself. Sorry. Me, myself, and I on the bag. Oh, this is a great question. If you weren't pursuing golf, what would you be doing? I would be a pilot. I absolutely love planes. It's so weird. Like, not the makes and the models and everything. Like, yes, of course, I'd probably get into that if I were a pilot. But I'm, like, obsessed with geography. I kind of always know what direction I'm facing. I love to look at things from up high. It's really weird, but, like, anything bird's eye view, I'm, like, obsessed with. So if I was able to sit in a flight and see it from the pilot perspective, I would lose my mind. So I've always thought that I would be a pilot. And honestly, maybe one day I'll get my pilot license. I would love to do that one day, actually. I think it's so cool. When I flew to Florida for Q school, it was a 6 a.m. flight out of Dayton. And obviously it was dark out with the city lights. And I flew over Dayton. I knew it was Dayton. Flew over Cincinnati, took an unreal picture of Cincinnati. It was incredible. And then I knew we would eventually run into Lexington. And I could see, obviously, Lexington, the circle of all the lights. And then out in the distance, I knew it was Louisville because it was just another city of lights. It makes me so happy actually talking about it. What is your dream car? I don't know. I'm not really like a car person, so I don't really know. Maybe I'll have an answer one day. What part of the golf do you think is the hardest to learn as an amateur? Asking for a friend. I would say just understanding how swings work and everything. I feel like I try to always explain swing path and launch angle and face awareness, and all those terms just really confuse, I would say, the average amateur player. But I guess if you're talking like physically, I would say wedges or shorter like pitch shots, I would say. How are you when talking to yourself or thinking out loud alone? More positive or negative? Usually more positive. Since being pro, I've actually been a little bit more negative, working on it, of course, but I've definitely created a higher expectation of myself unintentionally, and I can't mess up, which is so stupid. So that's kind of been my main focus, is to just be nicer to myself. I'm allowed to mess up. I'm a human. Just because I have the title of a professional golfer doesn't mean I'm perfect at anything. What is the situation or incident that helped to build your character the most? Honestly, stage 2 of Q school. I mean, if you guys are here, you probably watched my stage 2 vlog. Man, that thing put me through the ringer. I mean, so bad, but it built me because I had to learn to re-love golf again after that crazy situation. I'm back. I'm good now. So at the end of the day, you know, you're going to have times where you just want to quit, and you have to remind yourself that it's just a sport, and it's only the beginning, guys. Like, I've been doing this for 6 months. Would you do a 1v1 video with Grant Horvat? Yeah, 100%. What are you looking forward to next season? I think just understanding how this works a little bit more. Obviously, this year, this was my first season, I guess my first year as a rookie, but it was very short because I graduated at Kentucky in May. Kind of just went straight into professional golf. So a normal Epson season, it starts in March and it goes through October. I started in June, then obviously went through October. What are the top 5 courses you want to play? Okay, St. Andrews, 100%. It's like auto. Pebble Beach, that golf course out at Evian, that always looks insane. I want to play there. I don't know what it's called, but CBC Sawgrass, 17th hole. Come on. Oh my gosh, so stupid. Augusta National, 100%. Average driving distance, I would say, is like 270 total. I mean, I would say carry 240 to 250, just kind of depends on what time of the year. Obviously, in the summer, I'm swinging it a little bit faster, so carry more around 250, I would say, but right now, it's definitely not carrying 250. It's way too cold. Too many layers. Is it financially tough playing on the Epson Tour? It's insane. I just started kind of writing on my Excel sheet expenses, and holy crap, guys. I can actually pull it up. So my month of July was like my first full month on tour. So I played in 3 tournaments. And this is also with the cost of Q school, which was $2,500. I totaled just under $6,000 in expenses just for July. That's how expensive this life is. It's absolutely insane, guys. August was $3,300. September, my expenses, $6,600. Very financially tough, especially on the Epson Tour, because the winner will get like $30,000, which I hate to say it is really not that much. That's why on the women's side, it's so important to find sponsors and to promote yourself. Like, I was at my 5-year reunion. Everyone was like, so are you an influencer now? I'm like, no. The thing about the women's side of golf is, if you want to play professionally and you want to be able to finance yourself, you need to promote yourself on social media. Because, for instance, I'm on the Epson Tour. Epson Tour is the Corn Ferry Tour for women. Corn Ferry is broadcasted. A lot of brands are giving players sponsorships because they're being promoted on TV. The Epson Tour is not promoted on TV. So there are other ways where these brands want to see what you promote, and that's through social media. If you have a large following on social media, the brands are going to want you to promote their stuff. You're not really promoting a lot at a golf tournament because we don't get a lot of viewers. Very, very different than the men's side. And even the Epson Tour has us do like Zoom classes where we learn the business of you. How do you promote yourself? It's very, very important. And it's why I do what I do. It's why I have Golf Girl Games. It's why I got into the social media in the first place. I honestly didn't really want to get into social media, but I realized how important it was. And I've realized like I have a voice and people want to listen to it. And I have to use that to my advantage because I'm able to do this for a longer period of time. Maybe talk about your personal life, maybe your future plans. I am 24 years old. I'm from Dayton, Ohio. I went to Centerville High School, played 4 years on my varsity golf team, won state my senior year, got recruited by Kentucky. Went to Kentucky. It was originally going to be for 4 years, but my COVID year was freshman year, so I ended up taking my 5th year. I graduated in 3.5 years with a degree in finance, and then I did my master's in kinesiology and health promotion, specified in sports leadership. I decided to go a different route for my master's because I wanted to use my 5th year to do something that I wouldn't have normally done. So that's why I decided to go into something like sports leadership, because it was really interesting to me. I knew I was about to go into professional golf. Graduated with that May 2024. I went to my first Golf Girl Games trip as a guest. I got a call back. They asked me, hey, do you want to be a part of it full time? I'm like, I'm in. Kind of how I got my start with GGG. It's been the biggest blessing I could have asked for. I met Alexis, like my literal best friend, through this, and we travel to a lot of our pro events together, and she's amazing, and like we talk literally every single day, and I become so close with Sabrina, so close with Kaylin. It's such a family, and I just can't believe I get to do that. And I have something that makes the professional golf, the hard part of golf, so much better. Professional golf is very tough. Like, it's definitely not for the faint of heart. So having a competitive week of golf with my friends, it's honestly incredible, and I'm so grateful for it. So that's kind of how I ended up where I am. I have a brother, I have a sister, they're both married. My sister has a kid. My parents are amazing. That's kind of my little life story. If the Golf Girl Games takes off like I think it will, are you going to continue to play pro golf? Yes, you can play pro golf and also do YouTube golf. Actually very doable, and so I'm gonna try to play pro golf as long as I can, see where it takes me. What is a drill that you would give to someone in their first year of golf? Learn how to grip the club, set up the technique, the fundamentals. That's number one, is really honing in on the fundamentals, because even at my level, you can actually start to hit the ball bad simply because of just setup. More common than you think. Any chance a 1v1 with Alexis on your YouTube channel? Always cheering for you on GGG. Oh yeah, Alexis and I are actually moving down to Florida together in January for 4 months. We're gonna be getting you guys a lot of 1v1s. I'm really excited. At 5'11", what's your ideal men's height? Guys, height doesn't matter. Come on. How do I make personality not just golf? When I play bad golf, it ruins my mood for days. I think it's just golf. For me, at least, once I get it out on paper and get my feelings down in a journal, I'm usually fine, for the most part. Do you like the nickname Marge? I actually really like it. Never been called that. Never thought that would be a nickname I would ever have, but shout out to Alexis. She really did a good job with that one. Any tips for someone that is planning to play college golf? Yes, this is the advice that my dad gave me. Pick a school that if you were to take golf out of it, you would still want to go there. And honestly, playing college golf is the same as the junior golf. You just get to do it with your team, and you have coaches, and people pay for your travel. So it's like way more fun, honestly. What advice would you give to younger golfers or to your younger self? Please don't stress. Everything always works out. Don't let this game consume you. Don't let it define you. It's gonna make you feel ways, it's a sport, that's bound to happen, but don't let it get you to the point where you're so down that you don't want to play anymore. I promise you, it's the best game life could give you. Just don't be too hard on yourselves. I know it's such a normal answer, but that's just what I think. Living in Knoxville, I was just wondering how you felt about the Vols. No comment. Aw, love your content. Thank you. Do you work on swing speed? I have in the past, and I had some weird chest injury. I actually had one in my junior year of college, costochondritis right in my chest. And it was just literally from really weak back muscles. So I had to really grind, get the back muscles stronger, and that helped kind of pull everything back, and I wasn't so congested like this all the time. I still have some pain every once in a while, especially in the cold. It can come back, but it's not as bad. I just haven't really messed around with speed training since. I need more sequencing training than speed training, because then if I can do that, the ball's gonna go far. If you could be good at any other activity instead of golf, what would it be? Dude, singing. I wish I could sing. That'd be so cool. I'm so bad at singing. Goals for next season, obviously to win a golf tournament. That's like number one. Chipping better, more confidence. A lot of the stuff I would say is a lot of routine goals and mental goals. But win a golf tournament, maybe two. I want to be more in contention next year. If you were a food, what would you like to be? I don't know, probably like quesadilla. I don't know, that's a weird question. I've never thought about that. What's your current favorite TV show and movie? I don't know. What am I even watching? I just finished Selling Sunset, also Prison Break. That was insane. Where in the world do you trace your ancestry back to? I believe Germany. When do you start back on the Epsom Tour? March 2025. Favorite course I've ever played? I don't know. That is such a hard question. I like so many golf courses, but I would say like any type of mountain golf course that I've played. I feel like I would really like golf courses. I'm so tired. In like Nevada or something. It doesn't even answer the question. Favorite golf course I've ever played? I don't know. I don't have a favorite golf course. I just love golf. I like all kinds of golf courses. My driver miss, you guys probably know, but it's a snap hook. How do I fix it? My grip. So my grip gets insanely strong, and then I need to put that thing back into neutral, and then I'm good to go. One thing on my bucket list, I want to go to Greece. Oh, and go on a helicopter. I've never been in a helicopter, and I think I would absolutely love to go in a helicopter. How'd you end up a Wildcat? I think I recruited Kentucky. It's so funny because I wanted to go to Kentucky so bad. I compared every school to Kentucky. Golda Boris was my coach at UK, and I was like, hey, I want to come here. It was between that and Louisville, which is funny because they're rivals. So I ended up at Kentucky. Pre-round warm-up routine is actually pretty intense, I would say. I do a lot of hip mobility, back mobility, core activation, glute activation. 40-foot downhill putt for birdie or a chip-in birdie from the green. Definitely chip-in birdie. How old were you when you first broke par for 18 holes? I have no idea. I know the first time I broke 80, I shot 76, and I was like maybe 15. I'm pretty sure. Or 14. Favorite hole at Pine Haven. That golf course is hard. That's all I have to say. That's the golf course in New York, but I would say probably, I really liked 17. 17 was a good hole. Why didn't you have your brother on the bag for second stage's Q school? He had to go to a wedding. I know, so annoying. What's the first thing you do if you got your LPGA card? Have a glass of champagne, celebrate, and then go play in my tournament with my LPGA card. How do you train yourself on mental preparation? Do you meditate? I've been really trying to get into meditating recently. It's very, very difficult for me. I will be honest. I do a lot of journaling, a lot of spiritual journaling as well, reading, just anything to kind of take my mind and body off of my phone and golf. Do you live by a quote? Not a quote, but a Bible verse. It was the first verse that honestly got me into my faith. I didn't really necessarily grow up in a church. You know, we're a family that believed, but it was never anything in our routine. I just remember hearing Joshua 1:9, have I not commanded you? Do not be discouraged, do not be afraid, for the Lord will be with you wherever you go. That's just kind of the thing I try really hard to live by, because I think sometimes I can be filled with that fear of like, am I doing this alone? But you're never alone because God is with you. And I think that that's just a really incredible thing for me to remember and live by. Do you prefer a 56 or 58? I use a 58, 54, 50. How tall are you? I'm 5'11". How do you prioritize your faith being on the road, traveling so much? I did not this summer, I'll be honest with you guys. Kind of the thing that I wanted to focus a lot more on. It is very, very hard for me to do it on the road. Trying to build more of a routine at home, and then I'm going to input that into my traveling life. Biggest accomplishment in my career. I have two. I won state my senior year. I had all of my family, friends. It's my first bigger win, and obviously you always want to win state. I feel like that's the number one thing that, you know, when you're in high school, you want so badly. But my first, I would say, true win that made me feel like, okay, I could play professional golf was when I won the Western in 2021. That was absolutely huge for me. It's 2 days of stroke play, so I won medalist, and then I was the number 1 seed, and then obviously went from round of 32 all the way to finals. That was just a gritty week, guys. Like, that week was insane because we went 18 practice round, and then 18 round 1, round 2, 36 holes because you had 2 matches, 36 holes, another 2 matches, and then the last day was 18 holes. And obviously, give or take a few holes because they were matches. I mean, it was a straight grind. Every single shot you got to lock in. I was just so proud of myself in that situation because I learned so much about myself, and I really learned that I had that mental strength to win a golf tournament. What training do you do to stay fit? I work with a guy named Travis Lampton down at Joey D Golf. I'm going to be down there, thankfully, starting in January to be working with him a little bit more on my fitness journey and sequencing everything up. Do you practice indoors at all on turf or only outdoors on grass? Do you see a huge difference? Don't see a huge difference. I try not to practice too much on turf, especially recently. I've been having some wrist issues. I have a cyst in my wrist here and then one in here, and it's really weird. I don't like it, obviously. I just found out about it right before stage 2, and it was definitely creating a little bit of some issues, but I've noticed I just feel it a lot more when I'm hitting off of mats, so I try to stay off of mats. You seem like you hit longer than the average player. Is that true? What gives you the green light to cut the corner on a dog leg, or do you just play conservatively and rely upon your approach? I would say I do hit the ball fairly far. I think it just kind of depends on the trouble. It's very situational. For the most part, I probably will cut the corner, but again, it depends. What athlete would you like to swap roles with? I mean, this is like auto. I think Caitlin Clark or Paige Beckers are so sick. I would just love to be able to be like a dog at basketball. It'd be so cool. Who has had the greatest influence on you in your life? Ooh, that's a hard question because I've had so many incredible people in my life that have made such a large impact. I can't answer that because I'm so blessed to just have people that have just impacted me in such positive ways. All-time favorite song is probably Godlight by Noah Kahan. I absolutely love that song. Or We Found Love by Rihanna. Those are my 2. Favorite movie, not a movie, but a show, Daisy Jones and the Six. I think it's on Amazon Prime. Watch it, guys. It is unbelievable. The music is insane in that show, too. Favorite food, sushi. How do I get check on my chip shots, and can you do a video showing it? I'm going to bring this up to my brother, actually, because he would 100% do a video on this and help you guys out for sure. I would like to know what part of your game is keeping you from being more successful on the Epson Tour. I would say a little bit of everything, just needs a little bit more tightening. I would say more so in the short game. On occasion, I have heard men disrespect the women's game despite how insanely talented you are. Typically, this comes from guys who vastly overestimate their own game. Have you experienced this? Yeah, I think as a woman in golf, we've all experienced something like this where we're kind of just looked down upon because we are a female golfer. But then again, like at the same time, it doesn't really bother me because there are so many guys that are so supportive of women in golf and are so fascinated by what we do. It's a very weird thing to see a female golfer on the range. Like it does always make me laugh, especially I'll take videos and I'll see girls on Instagram or something take a video and it's them swinging, and then all these guys on the range behind them in the video are like looking because they didn't expect her to be good. It's a female growing sport, which is really exciting. Were you ever a model or actress before or during your pro golf career? If you count playing Gretel in a play in 6th grade, then yes, I was an actress. But if you're not, then no. I've never modeled. I would actually really love to model. I think it's such a unique thing, and I think it'd be so fun to like model golf clothing. So I would definitely consider modeling because I'm also tall. I'm 5'11", but not acting. I am not an actress. Thank you guys so much for being here for this video. I hope I answered a lot of your all's questions. See you guys on the next video, whatever that may be. Haven't decided yet.